Just over 1 year ago, I brought this truck in and tore it apart, and that was the last time it has ran. But today, that's all gonna change, and we're gonna start this truck once again. I've been waiting on this day for a long time, and it's finally time to start this truck. Now, before you start any vehicle, especially something like this that I've been working on for the last year, there's a few things you wanna make sure before you try to start it. You wanna make sure fuel, air, spark, and your tune. Those four things fast. Get those four things, it should start. If not, check them over again, and then it will start again, because you have to have those four things if you want a truck to run. So we're gonna go over those four things, check it all out, and if everything checks out good, we're gonna crank it over and let it fire up. So, first thing we're gonna check out is our fuel. Now, what I wanna make sure we got here, I just wanna make sure all the lines, everything's connected nice and good. Just check over everything, make sure as it runs back to the regulator, everything's hooked up properly there, everything's good at the tank. We wanna check, make sure our fuel pressure is all set. I'm gonna run something else, but for now, I just put, that standard just pressure gauge on the end of the regulator. So we'll check that and get that set. We're gonna set that with zero vacuum. We're gonna set it at like 50 to 55 PSI. And that way with vacuum should be around 60, something like that I think should be what we need. So we'll get all that stuff checked out, make sure everything's good. And if that checks out, we'll move on to the next. Okay, so that all checks out. I did have one line down there, the one going into the regulator from the feed side. It had a little leak. I did have to tighten that up. And the one thing I will say that makes things so much easier on your fuse box, if you'll pull out your relay for the fuel pump, and if you'll connect, I'll get this to focus maybe, you'll connect that wire right there and then connect it to right there. That'll just keep the fuel pump running, so that way it will keep a pressure built up, and it's a lot easier to set your fuel pressure that way. But all that's done, so now I guess we're gonna move on over to the air side of it. So on the air side now, what we're gonna do is, most we can honestly do is just kind of check over everything going into the charger, coming out from the charger into the cooler, then out from the intercooler back into the intake. That's really about it, but I'll just check it over, just make sure all our connections are tight, any clamps, whatever, just so that when we go to start it, we don't have a leak in it. Now, this is running AIT. I'm not running MAF, so, there's no MAF sensor there to freak out, but if we're not getting the right air temperature reading, then, we're gonna have problems also. So I just wanna make sure all this is good. We'll check it over. The only janky thing right now, I didn't have a 45-degree boot that I needed, so I had to cut up a boot and just piece it together. That's just temporary. My correct boot's gonna be in today. I don't know when, but sometime today. So, but for now, that should be good enough, hopefully. All I want to do is start. It's not like I'm trying to drive it or anything. So we'll check over all this stuff, make sure it's all good, and then hopefully it is, and then we'll keep on going. So if you saw me right here, I was spinning this, that is okay. There's nothing wrong with being able to spin that. These are a little different than what I've used ever before. And what it is, instead of just a clamp that clamps the two pieces of pipe together, it actually has an O-ring on each side, and then there's a metal coupler thing that slides over them, and this holds the coupler in place. And really the whole thing is, it gives it just a little bit more kind of adjustability. That way, you know, if an angle's not exactly right, it'll still keep it sealed, which is nice for me because this is my first time ever doing any of this, so I wanted a little bit of extra forgiveness. So that's why you saw that spin. It's still sealed, but this is just pretty much both pipes just aren't maxed out. So that is okay. All this checks out. I'm pretty happy with everything. I mean, it don't look great. I need to, obviously the welds aren't the best and the clamps aren't the prettiest, but it'll work for now to get it started up. So now we're gonna move on to the next thing and just make sure we have some spark. So obviously there's only so much really we can do checking spark. I just want to make sure, you know, all the plugs and plug wires, coil packs, everything look good there. You know, just make sure everything's connected good. You know, you could always potentially run into issues, but I feel pretty confident in a lot of the stuff as I've hooked it up. So I'm just wanting to do, you know, kind of one good last check. You know, potentially if it doesn't start, then we might have to dive deeper into some of this stuff. But for now, as long as just everything kind of checks out, that's all I really want to do, just for now. And the last thing we got to do is tune, but my computer's not here. So I don't know where it is. I'm gonna have to find that out and go get my computer, so that way I can hook up to it and make sure everything looks good in the tune. So I'm gonna find that real quick and I'll be back. Okay, so I got my computer now. Now we're ready to actually check out the tune. So I'm not trying to like tune it. By no means am I a tuner. All I really want to do is just go in and just kind of look and see what needs change. I know there's a few things that I want to change just so it has the best shot at running. And if there's something that I see that needs maybe tweaked a little, I'll tweak it, but I'm not confident enough in myself to actually try to tune it. And I do feel like, just for idling, obviously I wouldn't even ever think of driving it. Don't hold me to any of this because this is the blind leading the blind here, so I'm just hoping it'll work. If it don't, then I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I guess I'll just actually have to get it tuned by someone. So, but I'm gonna try this, tweak a few things, then we'll hook it up and upload the tune, and then we're ready to try to start it. Okay, so now we got all this ready. We'll go in, we want to change it to right entire, because if not, there's probably a chance it will brick the computer. And we're going to turn off use high speed. And we're going to write it. Hopefully all that will work good. You're definitely supposed to have some type of battery tender on it, just so in case your battery dies, you know, it could brick it also. There's a lot of things you could do wrong to brick your computer. And then I guess in a few minutes we'll be back and see how it goes. So this is it. The moment of truth. Will it run or not? I hope to God it does. But even if it don't, we'll figure out what's going on and we'll fix it, because I'm way too far into this to quit now. So let's try it. So, as you probably realized, I have not got this thing running, but I figured out my problem. I've been checking over everything, you know, multimeter, looked over the tune. I even had someone come out and professionally, you know, someone that actually knows what they're doing, put a good startup tune on it. Still, I mean, just will not run. And it's actually gotten worse. Like, my basic no knowledge tune was actually better than the tune that he put on. Like, it wouldn't even fire with his tune. And I've just been so stumped. But I figured out what my problem was today. I'll show you right here. That is my fuel. Now, obviously not all the trash, but my fuel is white. Like, it is filled with water. I got it in a cup right here. I'll show you. I mean, that straight up looks like milk. This is not good. So this whole time I've been trying to start it, which, I mean, obviously I'll just crank on it a little bit, and if it don't start, I give up and try a few more things. But there's water all in my fuel. Somewhere, I can't remember where I got gas at, but wherever I got my gas, it was not good gas. And this is why it's not starting, and this is why it's getting worse. So I'm now draining it all out. I've disconnected the return line, and I put a fitting on the end, on the 6A end part, and then I just got my jump box here powering my little thing that's running there to the relay part that will power it. Because I had hooked the jumper wire up, but after running for so long to where you connect it between the two relays, like I showed earlier, it got really hot. So doing it like that, and I'm just draining all the fuel out of it. So I guess we'll kind of update whenever we figure out if that fixed it or not. All right, this is it. I am like, well, I think I started about 9 this morning, and it's probably about 7 o'clock in the evening, and I'm like so done with this. But everything's hooked up, everything should be good. I got my fuel pump, it's out of the tank. I got it sitting in a 5-gallon bucket with fuel in it, and we're gonna try it. Hopefully it goes, because I can't take this. So I guess this is it. We're gonna wrap this up, and this is a pretty big moment, really. I mean, over a year now I've been working on this and trying to get this thing ready to go. So I'm like super excited that it finally runs. This is finally over with, and we can now move on to more fun things, because this has gotten very old and I'm very tired of this. This was the longest video I think I've ever made. It's took me over 2 months to put this together. With all the waiting and the problems, I've just been fighting it for this whole entire time. So I'm also just very glad in general to get this video done. Everything seems good so far. I don't think I've ran into any issues. I got a lot of more things I got to get buttoned up, but at least as of now, it seems like we're looking pretty good. Hopefully no problems, but I don't know. We'll find out, because with my luck, there's always bound to be problems. I just want to say though, to everyone that's watched this from the beginning when I started this, thank you, because this has been honestly overall extremely fun. I've learned a lot. I've had a ton of fun, and I hope I can do a lot of more stuff and build some actual cool things. And maybe if there's a chance I've inspired someone to try to do something like this themselves, I wish you the best of luck. Hopefully it goes better than me. But you can see though that your average person, you know, with just a little bit of time and effort can build something pretty cool, you know, on a pretty strict budget without going crazy and buying super expensive stuff. So if you liked the video, give it a like. If you want to see more of this, subscribe. I'm trying to do a bunch of cool things, so we'll just see where this goes. But overall, thank you, and we'll see you in another video.